the Eagles just got word on Zadarius Smith on why he actually retired. As like when he was with us, he was having a really good year, but the reason why he retired probably make you rethink some of the rage you had for him. I had a lot of rage for him. So once I heard this, I was just like, oh Lord, you know. We'll go through that in the video so you find out what's going on. But Cooper DeJean is the first defensive back ever to have a Red Bull sponsorship. This boy marketable. He marketable. He's getting a lot of sponsorships and stuff like that. Cooper DeJean is just very marketable. All right, Mike Pellegrino. Oh, I killed that. Mike Pellegrino, the defensive back coach, got a little fire to him. I just seen the video when AJ Brown ran a go route against Quinyon Mitchell. Mike Pellegrino came out to the field to greet him, and what he said is perfect for the Philadelphia Eagles coaching squad. Perfect. You gotta be like this if you're gonna be a coach for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now we sit here talking about coaches. Let's move on to one of our head coaches, Dick Vermeil. Dick Vermeil talked about training camp back when he was doing training camp, and he had I got the video for you. So we're gonna watch the video, and I'll give y'all my opinion on it after. We're gonna keep it in the coaches round. Vic Fangio spoke about Rick Woolen. Not only did he speak about Rick Woolen, he spoke about Rick Woolen's interceptions. And what they were to Jalen Hurts. How he feels about Jalen Hurts and the interceptions that he's been throwing. So we're gonna talk about all that after the video. But for right now, let's just get into it.
Yeah, I done fell so many times, but I got back up. I've been drugged through the mud, like it ain't been enough. I'm still going, 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 still going. And I done felt so much pain that I wanna give up, but I can't stop now, cause I've been through too much. I'm still going, 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 still going.
All right, now we finally found out why Zadarius Smith retired on us after kind of starting off kind of hot. He had a sack and a half before anybody really recorded a sack, before any edge rushers recorded a sack. He was the first edge rusher with us to have a sack and a half coming in kind of late. And he finally revealed what it was that made him retire.
So I wasn't supposed to retire. Said I wasn't gonna tell this story, but I'm gonna tell it. Yeah, man. Got a phone call from my mom's doctor telling me that she don't have much longer to be on this earth. So I let the team know. Obviously, they wasn't trying to let me leave, but that was the only thing I had left to retire. So I retired. Dealt with that. After losing my mom, I lost my grandma. Then after my grandma, I just lost my dad. So y'all obviously know what I've been through.
All right. I was somebody who was very, very mad about this. You just never know what people got going on. And you don't know what you don't know. You know what I'm saying? So to hear something like that, I don't know anybody who would have done anything different. You know what I'm saying? Your mom's on her deathbed, and you want to be by her side, and the team won't allow you. Yes, retire. You know what I'm saying? You can always unretire. But there's bigger things than football. Yeah, there's bigger things than football. People got to think about it like that. There's bigger things than football. And yeah, I probably would have done the same thing. I'll go be by my mother. And right after his mother passed, his grandmother passed. And after his grandmother passed, his dad passed. He was in a very dark spot, a very dark place in his life. And I'm just gonna share this with you right now. But my brother is somebody who let me know about Zadarius Smith going to the Atlanta Falcons, and I, being bitter, wished a lot of mean stuff I take it back. Take it back. So you have a good season unless you play us. So Coop got the Red Bull sponsorship. He's the very first defensive back to ever have it. They ever do it. And there's been some great defensive backs, and nobody has ever had the sponsorship with Red Bull. Coop is making history out here. He's making history. I don't think that's his last sponsorship either. So I hope they keep doing it. Maybe he won't ask for a lot of money. And that, I don't know. That's probably mean to say or not right to say. But we still got to spread that money around come time, because he got to get paid. Q got to get paid. Probably Reek got to get paid. So we got all our defensive backs that's gonna probably have to get paid this year or next year. So hopefully, these sponsorships, he don't need that much. I mean, let me know if I'm tripping. So Mike Pellegrino, while talking about defensive backs, Mike Pellegrino, after the A.J. Brown go route was defended by Quinyon Mitchell, had this to say.
Down here.
Tell him get that shit out of here. That's what I'd have said. Tell him get that shit out of here. Don't try us like that. Hey, that boy got fired. He got fired. And I like it. Now, Parks he wasn't like that. I know he talked a little smack to AJ Brown at the beginning of the season, in training camp and stuff like that. But he wouldn't do nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So I like that. I like the fire within the coaches. Dick Vermeil talked about, training camps back in his day. And that's kind of what he said.
Well, they're a lot better for the players today in terms of preventing injuries and bruises and problems later in life. But probably they don't come along as fast fundamentally as maybe in the old days, because we spent more time on the individual player and then took the individual player and combined him with the team stuff and his specific positions and that. So overall, it's best for the player, and it hasn't hurt the game in any way. The game is more exciting today than it's ever been.
It's important. I think that's the reason for why Vic Fangio believes that if you're not in training camp, if you're not in practice, it makes it kind of hard for him to want to put you in, because you ain't took the bumps, you ain't took the bruises, you ain't fell down a good little bit. You got to build up a callus to carry out 16, 17 games. And if you ain't been in training camp, if you ain't been practicing, it's kind of hard to believe you're going to be there the whole time. You could be injured, because you ain't been taking those bumps. So I get exactly what they mean by that. It's a real old school thing. That's probably why Vic is so foundationally, set into that way. He want his guys to practice as much as possible. And if our head coach want us to rest and recover. And you got like two ends of the mark, but they tend to meet in the middle. You got one people on this side, you got other people on this side, and they tend to kind of meet in the middle for like a perfect it's like a perfect catalyst for top tier players. So while we talk about Vic Fangio was asked about Jalen Hurts' interceptions. What he thought about them. That's kind of what he said.
Well, it's good for the defense, which is good for the team. And he's learning a new offense. I think he's trying things, seeing what's available and what isn't available. So I don't think that's going to carry over.
Man, I don't know how many times I can say it. It's just training camp. A lot of the stuff that he's throwing these interceptions on, he's not throwing the ball in that situation. It's not gonna happen. And then he's trying stuff out. This is what it's for. He's trying stuff out to see what he can get away with. Reed Woolen is the person who got those interceptions, causing all this hoopla. All this riffraff. He causing all this riffraff. I like it. I like it in a sense because our defensive backs don't normally get interceptions. Without CJ GJ, yeah, CJ Gardner Johnson. So without CJ GJ, we ain't been getting that many interceptions from our defensive backs. Rick Woolen has came in and really changed the kind of idea of that. Rick Woolen has been interception at the intercept. I don't know what the stat line is across training camp, but he is out there getting his hands on footballs and he's keeping them. He's catching them. You know, Rick Woolen is probably the star of training camp. He's the biggest performer in training camp, offense and defense, special teams, kickers, everything. This man's been balling. Vic was asked what he thought about Rick Woolen, and he said, and I quote, "I like him a lot. I like him as a player. I like him as a person. I like being around him, and I like coaching him." Vic ain't just gonna tell you nothing just to tell you something. You know that he really likes Rick Woolen, and maybe that gets Rick Woolen a contract. Rick Woolen is on a 1-year deal. He's on a 1-year prove-it deal, and he's doing everything he needs to get that deal. And you know how it is. It's either the deal with us or the deal with somebody else. I'd rather it be with us, but to what we're gonna have to pay Rick Woolen, we gotta pay Coop. And we gotta pay Quinyon. So that kind of leaves us in a situation here. Where we getting all this money from? I say that we all donate. We all donate, man. We got to get out there and start giving some money to the Philadelphia Eagles because we could possibly win a Super Bowl this year. And if we can get those corners back, we might can win a Super Bowl that year. And then maybe a year after that, if we can squeeze 3 Super Bowls out of these corners, I'm a happy man. That's all I got, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Turn those post notifications on. Y'all don't miss no video. And we out. Let's go, Birds.